Welcome back to another episode of Man of Steel. And into today's episode, we are going to dive deep into the current happenings of Central Africa, or should I be specific, Zambia. Really, we have been going through a lot of reforms that can actually be seen by the appreciation of the kwacha and the depreciation of the dollar. If you at least been moving in bureaus and actually been seeing how those prices have been fluctuating, you can at least agree with me that okay, there's maybe some policies that are being done that are actually trying to like maybe like level up the momentum, something like that. But if you have like been staying home and everything like that, but you have been working, please keep working because as you are working, you're actually like fostering economic development. The workforce is actually increasing. Keep working. And for some people who are waiting for employment, may actually be waiting. But as you wait, actually do something productive. Inform the public about your work, know your rights, know your duties, and actually just be a law-abiding citizen. Actually, we begin with some of the things that are trying to actually like help with this appreciating or the appreciation of our currency. We have to say one thing, and that thing is actually the investor trust. We have seen in our country that we are trying to raise the type of investor trust where there is no war, there's no confusion. By war, I mean civil war, or maybe at least there might be that friction between the opposition and the ruling party, but it is not that significant enough to like be ignited where people have to fight with machetes and pangas and actually be vamping each other with stones. Only in those areas where they might try to like do that, but where the law enforcement is not like made aware. And party, there's this Indaba that was held in South Africa, and that Indaba was actually like really nice. When I talk about that Indaba was actually focused upon like trying to make Southern and Central Africa not just a not actually just like operators, individual boards, but actually to actually work as a single body where investors get to invest because we have seen as far as Central and Southern Africa goes, the only country that has been so destabilized is actually Congo with the M23 rebels and the people who are there. You have been following that. If you have been following that party, the entire year of 2025, the internet or maybe your feed was littered with that. And now here we are, where Central and Southern African people are trying to come together and be like, yo, this is not the way it's supposed to be. We saw that when the Ghanaian president actually paid a courtesy call to Zambia to actually just like try to see what they could learn from us and what we could learn from them. And probably some things that were learned from that is that number one, Zambia is ahead agriculture wise. The energy sector is good, and probably the mining sector is good. Although we are the top producers of copper, although Ghana we know they're also the top producers of gold. So we have to actually like learn from each other, but we have to embrace our cultures. We saw there was this friction between people no is wearing traditional wear or something like that, but just be proud of your tradition, be proud of your heritage, be a patriotic African being. We want a borderless Africa, but we have to do that by actually coming together and actually appreciating what the other person brings, as long as it's not confusion or it is not vamping up something that is infringing your way from your rights. We are okay with that. We are actually having roots. Although we have been colonized, this language which I'm speaking right now is colonial language. But if I had to use some local language, it would like actually like be limitative, where some people will not actually be able to get what I'm saying and where others will. But I just want to make it broad. This is part of the official language and everything like that. But away from that topic, the reason why I spoke about trying to gain investment trust has actually been gained as a result of actually our military trying to learn from actually what Africa has been going through, and that is if you let illegal miners really like function in your area or in your place for quite some time and not actually going to check on what they're doing. What will actually happen is that you have illegal immigrants in your country. They may try to safeguard that area by buying themselves weapons so that if you try to infiltrate their area, they actually like try to fight back and push you away. Now we have actually seen that our army has actually like infiltrated them where they are just like in the premature stages, so that if they're trying to mature anything like that, they have to follow legal standards so that in case there are eruptions of confusions or maybe wars or maybe battles like that, they actually have to be held accountable because they had to sign something of the state. So that is actually something good. And actually, when we talk of how party Ghana's really like really moved in terms of it, like being so productive. But yesterday they released a press statement of them saying they have been able to refine their own gold. But you would actually think, where am I getting all this news? Why did just have your eyes open? Go on YouTube, be on Facebook, be on X, and buddy, just search these things and then just actually try to make yourself to be as inquisitive and try to just like have your mind actually expand as much as it can, because we have those minds that are always absorbing, always learning, always trying to evolve. In the world we're in, if you don't understand the market, if you don't understand the political market, if you do not understand your social market, you actually like find yourself in a conundrum or in a dilemma where you actually won't be like fostering something more as compared to the other thing. So just try to have yourself well informed. But the kudos goes to the military, because after them doing that, you could actually find that a lot of people are displaced and now they're trying to get more investor trust. Imagine if Zambia was able to like refine its own gold. Imagine if it was able to refine its own copper. And imagine that India that was held in South Africa, where they said, we are done, we're done, we're trying to not be type of African people who are always just trying to dig our resource, and then after we dig it, we actually just send the raw material out. No, we don't want to send the raw material out there anymore. Those times are done. No wonder we have universities, we have college institutions. No wonder why we have trade facilities and everything like that. Those people are actually being trained skills on how to actually refine that product. Talk of Chinese companies that may be actually coming into our country, but not even maybe these Chinese people, but they are actually people who are getting master's degrees, they're getting their PhDs in engineering. And actually, you actually have to think, how many people do really graduate in a year? And you're telling me none of those can actually be like funded by the state itself, like buy machinery of its of that sort, and then just try to actually just like refine them, create jobs, and then just try to alleviate this type of like poverty stricken state of which we're trying to be living in. And then you'd actually think that, okay, that is partly actually possible. And if it is possible, then why don't we try slowly but surely to just like engage ourselves into that? So let's do that party. We have seen the Mulungoshi textiles is actually like trying to gain its studly legs, and that is actually fine. Let it gain those legs, let it grow, let it actually just like become so explosive as much as possible as it can to create more jobs. Because as far as the three-dimensional plane of existence lives, if you cannot really actually like produce, and actually if you're having a family or something like that, and you entitle yourself like, oh, I'm gonna have a family and stuff like that, and you can't provide for them, then you're infringing that family of your rights. But actually, you just have to know your rights and responsibilities, and you just have to keep itching, keep researching, keep being alive. No wonder why on this platform of Man of Steel, we always talk about that. And when we see good party, we're going to try to report on it, and we're going to try to do our best to bring it to the public eye for them to see. And probably we talked about the military sweep and everything like that, right? That's actually nice. And then we move on to this energy crisis that was really felt in 2025 last year, bro. Let me actually be honest with you. And if I'm being honest with you, I'm going to say this. Last year, I was actually in school, I was in uni, and I actually like didn't feel that much of the conflicting impact. So as far as I'm reporting right now, I actually have to say that okay, we really felt it, because we're only having electricity from 22 from that's like 10 p.m. To 3 a.m., and then the rest of the day there was no power, and then people were complaining, how is there going to be productivity? We can buy, but it's like we're trying to move away from this mode of trying to gain energy from less sustainable sources and then go to sustainable sources such as solar and the like. That's good, but the initiative that this power utility company has taken is that they're able to now like provide power to people. The only time when you feel like power is not actually like being administered to you is like when you have a fault, or maybe like there's just been so much heavy rains that there's been thunder, lightning, and then you feel like power lines were going down and stuff like that. But they have been able to construct something that is really amazing, and it's something that we have to do a coverage of. If you are trying to like be on tune all the way to Copperbelt University, you have actually tried to see that, man, they are solar plants there, bro. I mean, like before you even enter like the entrance to the Copperbelt University, as you just try to go to the entrance, bro, you'll find like a mat of solar panels, and I was like, how many megawatts are they able to generate here? I'm not an electrician type of a person. I'm a scientist by education. I'm waiting for employment and stuff like that. But when we actually have to talk about like those people who were able to install those, I mean, it is nice. But kudos goes to those who are doing electrical engineering. Please keep doing. please keep doing that and actually keep educating us more, because sometimes on the media we actually just see people posting their good days and stuff like that. Nobody ever posts any of the bad days they have on the media. That's the reason why the media is so infatuated and filled with people. When they go there, they try to feel they try, they actually do feel depressed, because all what is happening is that, man, they're like, oh, maybe I'm having a bad day. Even in your bad days, you have to keep on uploading, you have to keep on giving, but just make sure you're doing it in the right ways, you're not infringing anyone of their rights, you're just actually doing the right thing. And party, that being talked about, you actually did that. There's the Musonda hydropower station, and there's also the Kafua power station, the Kariba thingy and everything like that, and they were able to just like scale it up. I think a research should be done on that to just actually try to make the masses actually know, because you think like when they post these publications and stuff like that, not everybody goes to like access them. I'm gonna be honest myself. There's this bill that was passed. I haven't even read a sentence in there, but I've really just been hearing that there's been increase in parliamentary seats. They're going to actually make it be more gender equitable and stuff like that. But I have not read it myself. The reason why is because we're in a country where we all have to play our role. If you're a child at home, you have to do some basic chores. You have to be moving around. There's times when you have to relax, watch a movie, catch up on a series. You have to study, although you're done with uni, but keep your head up to date. You have to do your applications. You have to do a lot of things for you to actually just like function and actually make sure that you're playing a very good role, and the role you're playing is actually being impactful. And actually, you have to be prayerful too. You have to go to church. You have to do a lot of things like that. Da, 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 da. That's good. And now I actually move to sports news. As far as sports news is concerned, bro, I actually gonna say this about sports. Person Taka, Lameka, Banda, as well as Fashion Sakala. These people have been doing a number. I just saw. This is person. And then for Lamek Banda, bro, he actually like scored a goal that was really like out of this world. He actually like hit a free kick, bro, and it was like the winner. Although also kudos goes to Patson, even though he scored, though his team didn't carry the day, he didn't carry the 3 marks point, but though he scored a goal, he also did an assist. But that's good. If we are actually going out there and are actually trying to be that competitive, you're actually also trying to empower us to wake up on each and every day to try to also give our best, because if we do see you actually doing your best, we're going to be prompted to wake up in the morning and be like, wow, I have to also be my best. Because if there are people like this who are actually doing their best, I should probably also do my best. And probably kudos goes to you. And also the kudos actually goes to someone who has really inspired me in the music industry. Talk of your mouths, bro. Like the person got an award, came back, and actually was just like being happy for himself. But I'm also happy for him, because there's this post that I saw on Facebook, bro. The person was actually like just a backup dancer in one of those days, and now he's turned into a main person. That actually just shows you that some people can work all the way from level zero to hero, and the only thing that keeps them moving, as far as we have seen him, is only determination and only trying to make himself a better version than he was the previous day. If you are that type of a person on that day, you have to like power up and be another good person the other day. And if you feel like the other day or maybe like backsliding and stuff like that, but just keep moving. You have to keep on climbing your stairs, keep going, keep evolving, keep moving, and never ever give up. The moment you just try to give in and give up is the moment that you actually become less productive and you feel like you are not a valuable asset to this three-dimensional plane of existence. But it is a sin. But just try to make yourself party, like be involved in one or two things, and party just feel fulfilled, and party feel like, yeah, you're living. And don't waste yourself too much. Party, you should leisure, you should have that time when you actually leisure and the like, but don't just actually give yourself into actually being a less productive type of a person. Actually, we move on now to actually some of the news that has been covered probably today, which is actually the president actually moved out of the country to go to Addis Ababa, where they're actually trying to actually like fulfill their goal of the 2063, which is providing Africa with clean and safe water. But that actually also has to start with us. But yeah, I am a microbiologist. I'm actually like an environmental type of a one. So we're actually going to speak of even just at our basic homes. Make sure you keep and store your water in safe places, and make sure you actually chlorinate your water or boil water when you feel like it's actually like not safe for consumption. And make sure you always wash your hands whenever you're coming from the bathroom or the toilet, and make sure you keep all the places uh where you actually like let me just say, keep your bathrooms clean. This is something that I say: when you wake up, do your bed, wash your mouth. But if you're using the toilet, buddy, do it, address what is needed, and then buddy just like keep living and evolving like that. Just easy to act. Sometimes they get to explore and actually do magnificent things in life. Actually, with that being said, I feel like I've come to the end of this episode of Man of Steel. I probably appreciate the people who have been like just tuning in and trying to just hear what I just have to say. And really step by step for me. I really appreciate you guys. Leave comments if you want to like. But actually, we're living, we're existing, we're breathing, and we are being. And just keep praying for you to be a better self, more of a better self than you were the other day, so that you keep on growing, climbing the ladder, climbing your stairs, and always put God first. We're a Christian nation, so let's keep on praying. Let's keep on being our best selves, and let us just be responsible and aware people as well. Open your eyes, see what's going on. Don't ever let your rights ever be infringed from you. With that being said, welcome to the end of this episode. I really appreciate for you tuning in. More news coming up. I hope I get to do more of these so that we can really be doing like breakdowns and seeing what the impacts are actually of what we actually do talk about, so that we actually grow more of a fan base that really want to know more of what we're saying. But that has gone on for too long. But anyway, see you on another episode of Man of Steel. Sayonara.